really, really common mistake that I see guys make when they do unplug and they're starting to date a chick. And one of the major mistakes I see is guys that are drawing boundaries too harshly and too early. I'll kind of come back to what I mean, but this is good because I got an email from a viewer and I wanted to go ahead and even just read that out. So I'll bring it up here on screen, even though I've blurred out the name and I'm not going to show up, but I'll read it off here for you and I'll kind of go through my advice on what I would give this young man. Again, a lot of the context with these sometimes is missing, so I'll try to fill in the gaps best I can. Guy goes, "Hello, Moff. Would love to chop it up one day. I just have a brief question regarding relationships. And like, again, if you guys don't want to book me for coaching, or if you don't have the funds or the time to book me one-on-one, then you can always send me an email with your current situation and I'll, go over it here live on the show, like as a mailbag, or you can always just call in for free. There's a ton of ways to get to me, whether it's join the community, whether it's book coaching, whether it's call in to the live show, whether it's, this show or Monday's show, any of those shows. So there's always a way to get to me if you want to have a conversation, need some help with something. I'm in a year relationship, I'm assuming, with a beautiful girl who initially struggled with drug addiction at an earlier point in her life. I clearly stated, and I'm going to fill in because I don't think English is this guy's first language, or he's just not super a great writer. But I clearly stated my boundaries at the beginning of the relationship, that there would be no drugs in the relationship. Okay. Again, I don't know how old this guy is. My guess is the way that he writes is he's a young, maybe like early 20s. But I digress. A year in, she's been everything I ever wanted. She's been perfect girlfriend and has even moved in with me. There's come a point where I asked what happened one weekend and she could not give me a good answer. So I guess she went out with him on one weekend and he wasn't around and she didn't come forth with the truth. She eventually disclosed that she did drugs that night with a previous group of friends that she's no longer in contact with. I didn't know what to do, so I said, "We're done," and I've moved on. She said that was in the past, and she was heartbroken to the point that she couldn't confess it to me, that it was past, that it was the past, but it was, my God, man. Guys, please, like, I'm going to try my best, but man, like, if you guys want to get your point across and you want me to be able to actually answer your question, you've got to do a better job than this. That it was past that, but still broke my boundaries. I'm guessing he means it was in the past. He agreed that it was in the past, but still broke boundaries. From that point on, when I said I was done, she's been nothing but the perfect girlfriend being by my side. Okay. Where do I decide enough is enough to move on or to forgive? Because from a trust perspective, I don't know where to begin. I feel like something has changed. I lift weights every day, run on the treadmill. I'm looking for answers. I don't know where else to turn. I feel trapped between her past and my future. Where do I go from here? How can you separate her past from our future and her words from her actions? So this is an example of a guy who is failing majorly as the leader and as the man in a relationship. First of all, if a girl's got a past with drug abuse, drug addiction, anything like that, there's no reason to entertain a woman like that. Zero. Why guys choose to get involved with damaged women and women that have major amounts of trauma is beyond me. Again, it screams to me that you don't have any other options. So you settle for damaged women that, you probably wouldn't have got otherwise. If she had maybe, I doubt she's got a good father connection or a good home family life, but either way. So you said you took a chance on the girl and you said, okay, you did it the right way. If what you tell me is true, you said, we'll be in a relationship, but no drugs, no nothing. That's a boundary. Okay, fine. So then she goes and hangs out with some other people and she won't tell you what happened. So there's strike one. She eventually comes clean that she did drugs and she didn't want to tell you. Strike two. Oh, but that it's all in the past and we should just move on from it. We shouldn't care about that. It's in the past. Strike three. Right. The fact that you continue to stay with this girl, the fact that she broke boundaries, did drugs, lied to you about it, like, you drew a line in the sand, she crossed it, and now she's back in your good graces, and now you're wondering what to do, or you now she's the perfect girlfriend, and now she's changed, it's in the past. You guys got to grow some balls when it comes to this stuff. There's no point in drawing boundaries if you're not going to ruthlessly uphold them and abide by them. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of this. It's chatter, it's lip service. It's nada, it's nothing, it's zilch. When you guys do this, when you say, I don't put up with women that do this, this is my boundary, and then she breaks it, and you continue to entertain her and you continue to let her be around, yeah, sure, man, she's going to be on good behavior only until she realizes that you're not going to leave. You've already shown and proven that she can break the number one boundary. I'm sure there were others, maybe there weren't. She's already proven and shown to you that she is willing to break the number one boundary that you set and lie to you about it to your face. And there's no repercussions. And the worst thing is you said, I'm done. You told her you were done. You told her you were going to move on. And then you didn't even do that. So you're not owning it, man. Like, you're continuing to let her push you around. You're continuing to let her get away with this. She's now being conditioned to think that going out, not with you, with old friends that she's quote unquote not friends with anymore, doubt it. She doesn't have to tell you where she is, or she can lie to you about it. And she can do all these, and she can continue to break boundaries, and she can continue to push your buttons, and you're not going to do anything about it. You're not going to sack up and tell her to pack her stuff in GTFO. And here's the deal, man. Like, this is, I've used this analogy a bunch of different times, but it really all depends on what you think you can put up with. This will never go away. This feeling in the back of your mind, these thoughts in the back of your mind, that's like, what is she doing? Who is she with? Is she lying? Is she doing drugs? Is she addicted to blah, blah, blah? Is she cheating on me? Is she, like, whatever it is, you've now shown her that lying and doing drugs in her relationship is permissible, as long as she just, cleans up after you and is a perfect girlfriend outside of that. But that day is going to come. There's going to be other temptations. There's going to be other opportunities. We talked about this on Chopping It Up, where now I don't think this is real, but maybe it is, maybe it's not. That call in and that woman goes, oh, my now husband told us before we got married that he thinks he could forgive me if I cheated as long as I came clean and told him. And she held on to that like it was a get out of jail free card. And this is basically what you've given this girl. You're basically giving her out of jail for free. You talk the big game. She knows that the bear is you're a paper tiger, and you don't have a pair of nuts to put on the table and say, nope, get out. You change, you cross my boundaries. It's time to bounce. She can't respect you. How is she going to respect a man like that, who's not about that life, who won't stand on his convictions and say, this is what I said. I told you that this is the rule. You broke the rule, and that's it. It's a one strike policy applies. So yeah, man. And if you continue on with this, one of two things are basically going to happen. She's most likely not going to respect you. She's not going to be able to fall in your lead. She's only going to be good and nice as long as she lives under the threat that you might leave. But eventually that's going to wear off. And two, you're always going to have this in the back of your mind that she could be out doing other stuff behind your back. She could be running around. Like, if she's not with you 24/7, what? And it's like having a blister on the bottom of your foot that never goes away. It's always there, and it's not debilitating, and you're able to walk and do the stuff you need to on a day-to-day basis, but it hurts and it's annoying and it stings, and it's just painful enough that you notice it, but not painful enough that you can't walk.
All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here, where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.